Let's see. Hi. Let me see. How are you doing? It's good to see you, girl. I need to tag her on here talking. S-E-J. Okay. We are live, I think. Girl. I'm good. Okay. Oh, Chris is here. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to first pull this up. Okay. Let me just real quick and then I'll get on here. Oof, there we go. I was like, where's my lighting? Okay. Hi, for those of you who are on. Welcome. We're going to wait just a few minutes to wait for Instagram to tell a few people. And I want to make sure I also pin something. So give me 1 second while I want to make sure the accurate information. So I'm going to pin this. Okay, let me pin something and then we can start. I feel like this is the annoying part about going live. The pinning of things is difficult for your girl. It's kind of annoying. So let me do this real quick. Oh, we got 5 people on here. What's up, everybody? Can I ask you guys a serious question? How do we feel about Black AF? For those of you who've watched it, what do you think? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it like not hitting? Is it funny? Is it terrible? What are we thinking? And you could just, if you guys don't mind, put it in the comments. I'm kind of curious. What do you guys think? Hold on.
I did, yes. Yeah. I did. I honestly thought it was me. I had to go
You can probably hear my roommate. She's in a whole different room, but she's pretty loud. So hopefully that doesn't distract you guys. But again, the question was, how do you guys feel about the Black AF, the show? If you haven't watched it, then you're not gonna know what I'm talking about. But it's on Netflix. It's with Kenya Barris, I think his name is. What do you guys think? The preview looks good, but people have mixed reviews. Yeah. I don't want to watch. I've been on Twitter a little bit and reading that stuff and people's comments. Okay. Let me pin this. You have to touch it and then release. Okay, so I got that pinned. Yes, some people have different comments about it, but I don't know. Anywho, okay. Well, hi everyone. My name is Niamey Thomas. I am a artist with the I Am Root Co., part of the family, part of the membership, part of the team. It's a Friday, and I don't know about y'all, but I've been up super early just because my body wakes me up early. And so I plan on taking a nap after this. So I don't know what y'all doing this fine Friday evening, morning, afternoon, whatever of quarantine. But hello. I first want to welcome you all in. We have a very, very great conversation today. If you have joined me for the past month, I've been going live on here. Just excited to talk about different things. We talked about our artistry and how to find resources and different, finding another source of income to come, and then also applying for different programs for freelance writers or artists in general. So hopefully you were able to use some of those resources. Today, I'm going to be joined with Carissa, who is the co-founder of I Am Root Co. I know sometimes we get, we place Dom Root as the main guy, right? Because it is his organization as well, and he's the face of it, and so we always pin him to being a one-man show. However, did you know that there was a lovely, strong woman who was right there with him working? So, with that being said, Carissa, I'm gonna look for you right here, and I think we'll see. We'll see what happens, and we're just waiting for Carissa. Oh, it says connecting. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I don't know how to remove the comments. So
Oh,
oh,
okay.
right here, turn off. Do you want me to turn off commenting so they can see your face fully?
It's up to you. This is my first time doing an IG live, so it's whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay, we'll leave it on here for a little bit because I do have a little part where we're gonna do some questions. So,
Okay.
but hello.
Nice to meet you in person.
Nice to officially meet you in person as
Yes.
well. Can you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Carissa. You guys are so generous with the whole co-founder. It's definitely Dom's brainchild, but co-owner of I Am Roots. I'm originally from Kansas City, and I went to Arizona State, which is where I met Dom. We started the same year as freshmen, and then yeah, graduated. I lived in Arizona for a little bit longer, and then I moved to LA in 2016. In the past, I've mainly helped out with the events for I Am Root Co. Because yeah, event production, event planning. That's more so the industry and the realm that I'm in. So yeah, been a part of I Am Root Co. I thought about it since like 2011 when he got started. Do you guys remember the Jesus pieces that were popular?
Yes.
Originally, when Dom got started, it was all just merchandise, and he was selling Jesus pieces, sarongs, and yeah, it was a different vibe back then, but super cool at the same time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I went to a few I Am Root events before actually becoming an artist with it. But I remember Dom and I had a poetry class, and he's so quiet. And I like am not intimidated by anyone. I don't know if I actually ever told Dom this, but I'm not intimidated by anyone.
Uh-huh.
I walk into spaces thinking I'm the hottest thing there, right? But
Okay.
because he's just so calm, cool, collected, and quiet, and you can tell that he's like really thinking about what he says before he says it. I was low-key intimidated by this kid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I definitely was. We did
Definitely.
a class together, and I was just always like, he's too cool. Like, but I knew who he was, right? Like, I didn't know
Mhm.
much about the brand, but I knew who he was. Like, I knew like he started this. Like, I knew that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, definitely the same way. Like when we first met, I think we met through like a freshman group on Facebook. And so like me and my friends would go and hang out with him, and he'd be asking us like these challenging questions, and we'd be like, okay, we were just trying to go out and party, but okay, you taking us to a deeper level before we go and do that type of thing. So yeah, I can definitely identify with being a little bit intimidated with him at first.
yeah, but he's cool. He's cool people. Uh,
Definitely.
do you still work in events and do things like that? What do you do?
Yeah,
Like,
so right. Yeah, I'm with how do I put it? A beauty company. The company I work for is called Cody, and they actually bought like Kylie Jenner Cosmetics a couple months ago. I'm in a professional division, a professional hair care and hair color division, where we have a shows and events team. So we do essentially a lot of hair shows, which are intertwined with fashion and stuff like that. So yeah, I work with the company, specifically Cody Orwella, and on the shows and events team, yeah, helping out with our different hair shows. We have a big annual one that takes place every year, either in Vegas or LA, and then we do smaller ones across the country before all of this happened.
Was that the dream? Did you want to do that specifically?
Events, yeah, yeah. I kind of, I guess, got involved with events on a smaller level when I was still in Kansas City as a teenager, helping out with a Juneteenth parade and festival. And then got to college, had a different major, but slowly got closer to finding out events was my passion. And yeah, it kind of just morphed from there.
That's cool. Okay. So, in a time of COVID-19, what does all this look for you? Are you in LA specifically or just in California?
Yeah, yeah, I'm in LA County. I'm out in Reseda. I used to be in downtown LA, but I'm a little bit further out now.
Okay. Yeah, my brother's in downtown and he sometimes posts like videos and pictures and it looks or at first it looks so dead. Now I feel like now everyone's just like outside, but it was very dead. How does it look over there now with on
Yeah, it's a lot busier. I went for groceries last week, and like every single week, it seems to be a little bit busier. We're adjusting and getting used to it. We're aware of it and aware that it's happening, but I don't think there's as much of a panic around it as it was in the beginning.
yeah.
Yeah. What about for you guys in Phoenix?
Um I mean, there's not as many cars, so it's kind of that part's like weird, kind of. The stores I think are so packed. I feel like there's way more people in the stores now than there were before. Just
Ah,
um, and I mean it's still a little creepy. Every now and then I get really anxious when I go to the stores and I see that some shelves are just empty.
yeah.
Is that kind of stressing me out. But honestly, other than like me going outside, me not going outside, everything feels back to normal.
Hmm.
And it's really weird. My best friend who I live with, she has an autoimmune disease. And so
Oh, wow.
been in quarantine since New York went in quarantine, which I think was March like 15th or 16th. So we
Hmm.
in for a minute, a little over a month. But it's just it's so strange. Yet I'm so cut. It's been a month now. I'm so accustomed
Yeah.
to it. This is also normal to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same. I think the panic, the mayhem part of it has settled down a little bit more. So, I mean, in the beginning, going to grocery stores, people were getting in arguments. And I was like, really? Okay. But yeah, people are a lot calmer now, which is nice. Yeah, they're trying to get out and about as much as they can. Like when you just go to the grocery store, tons of people driving. So yeah, it feels like it's starting to settle. It'll still be around. It'll still take a while for things to be normal, as they keep saying. But yeah, it's been a very different experience.
Yeah, I think what's the craziest part about all this, at least today, now, is when this is now our normal. And I also wonder what will our normal look like. So I've been reading different articles that talk about traveling will completely be different. Like after this, traveling will look different. There may be some airlines that aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and then also, I've read an article that it's been really difficult for planes to be housed somewhere because
Mm,
so many and no planes have ever been in one space because you have planes coming in and out and there are so many planes that are just grounded right now. So it's like airlines are having a hard time of finding where I put all my 300,000 planes or whatever the number is. And then also I guess it's really expensive for a plane to not be used because you have to clean it.
mm.
like a daily upkeep. And I don't know, it's just interesting when it's like things that I never thought of, right? When you're driving, unfortunately, we've driven so often that we don't think about, oh, how did I get to point B? And I
Yeah.
think that's how the world, that's how I've examined the world a little bit, that there were so many things happening simultaneously with me living, and I just never thought about it because it was always done.
Right.
Me?
Right. Like you didn't take it into consideration. Yeah. I read like airlines are selling some of their planes to
Mm-hmm.
other countries. And yeah, it's definitely affected a lot of things that we didn't take in consideration, like even food and supplies. We didn't think about the manufacturer. We didn't think about the supply chain that it goes to get on the shelf and get to us to where we have it accessible to us. And now we
Right.
do. Now we're like, oh, okay. We knew it. It was just back of mind, very, very
Yeah.
back of
Yeah.
mind.
And that's just crazy to me. That is crazy to me. And I also think that I know like domestic violence is up. That's increased. People talking to therapy has increased. However, therapy is right now cheaper than it's, which is a great thing because more people can have, and there's a lot of free therapy out there. More people can have access. Which, if anyone is in Tempe, um, I think it's called Care 7. Try care7.com. If not, just type in Tempe therapy. But they're giving out three free therapy lessons where they help you through anxiety or just talk about COVID-19 or whatever is giving you stress in this moment. And it's like, that's great. These are things that have always been pushed to the side and ignored. And so now
Yeah.
it's important for us to have.
Yes. And I saw where Taraji, she is donating money to that specifically as well to make therapy services available to people of color. And yeah, definitely something that is pushed to the side. I think even without COVID, it's becoming a little bit more talked about over the past 10 years, maybe. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely something that people who don't struggle with it don't consider all the time.
Right. And I think all this also has just so you know about flight and fight, right? That the cortisol
Mhm.
there's a release, the cortisol is released to your body, and that will determine if you are fight or flight. And I remember growing up and always, and you probably can remember this too, being like, well, if this happened to me, I would do this. Or if a cat came, or if a dog came chasing me, I would run or whatever, right? Like I
Yeah.
would do this. But it's an actual chemical within your body that's being released, so you cannot control it, right? It just happens. And I think it makes me think of, because of all this anxiety and all this stress, there's literally cortisol going through every single person's body all over the world. And it always has been, right? Because we all have traumatic experiences. But at this time, I'm interested to see in the future what this looks like next generation. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have children now, but when I have children, what that looks like in their life. If you, I don't know if you want children, if you do, but what that looks like, you know what I'm saying? Like in
Yeah.
children, like I'm just interested to see, you know, life is really,
Yeah. Yeah. My brother and his family of four moved to LA back in August. And in October we had the fires out here.
oh yeah,
And yeah, and now we're having this. So it's been a very, very different experience for my niece who's 9 and my nephew who's 5. And so they've been through all types of different change in the last 6 months. Unfortunately, I think the changes that happened prior to COVID kind of help prep a
mm,
little bit. Like they're not as in shock, but I know just their everyday routine, their regular schedule is just completely thrown off. And schools, they closed, but they weren't necessarily still educating right off the bat. They were out for 2, 3 weeks before they started educating and giving out laptops. And so now they're getting back in a groove. But yeah, for this next generation and generations to come, it's going to be something. I wonder, if something like this will happen again and then they'll experience it on their own. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, but I know there's research out there that predicted this to happen.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely not a short term, not no short term effects. It's long term. Yeah, not knowing if this will spread in the way that it spread again, and we'll have to go back into shelter in place. But yeah, it's something for us to all think about in the future.
Are you currently working? Were you able to keep your job during this?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the year, they had actually started letting us work from home 1 day a week.
Okay.
And so then this happened, and they were like, yep, work from home for the next 2 weeks. Then it became 4 weeks. Then it was, yeah, probably similar to other states. It's just extended a little bit longer. So fortunately, I've still been able to work, even though they just started mandatory Fridays off, to kind of,
That's
what was that?
that's great.
Nah, yes and no. It's great because it does allow us to still keep our jobs, but it does take up our vacation time. And so, yeah, but it is enabling us to keep our jobs for now because our business, we sell hair color to salons, and salons
Uh,
are closed. Yeah, yes. So our business is impacted greatly right now. Luckily, they're able to keep us afloat, and yeah, we're just taking it day by day, week by week, and yeah.
I get that. Yeah. I was so happy for you at first when you said the whole Friday thing. I was like, oh, I take Fridays off too, but that's just preference.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it though. I get why I get it. That yeah. Yeah, wow. So what how have you kept your routine or what does that look like?
Yeah, for me, not gonna lie, I roll out of bed 10 minutes before I log in. We'll have to start weaning myself off of that in the next few weeks to prepare to go back if we do. But yeah, logging in, working basically 9 to 5. A lot of the work right now has been in preparation for future events.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're just trying to figure out what things are going to look like, what rules and restrictions will be around big events happening in the future. So yeah, 9 to 5 with that, and then after work, a little bit of relaxation time. I check out for about an hour, and then I am finding that there is a lot of free education out
Yeah.
there right now.
Yeah.
So last night I hopped on an Instagram live in regards to the real estate industry. Last week I hopped on an Instagram live around events, some other people that are in the events industry that I follow and stuff like that. And everyone's giving out a lot of free knowledge right now. So taking time to still do the normal watching TV, but also trying to be a little bit more conscious and make sure that I come out of this with new knowledge and new
Mhm.
education on different things. Yeah, and then I'm baking once a week for my
Ni-
family, like baking some kind of dessert or some kind of sweet. And yeah, that's been the routine for past month now.
Yeah, I know. I know, right? My routine, I didn't have routine until this week because I found out that Google Calendar has an app. Okay, so
Okay.
I app and you can create goals. And what it does is it'll take your schedule for the day and it'll just find a time that you have time and it'll just put your goal in there. So let's say I want to, one of my goals is that like I want to work out at least 3 times a day, right?
Hmm.
And or 3 times a week. And so what it'll do is it'll find 3 times that week that like is open and it'll just put it in there. And so it'll remind me to work out. And so my schedule is like, it's been great.
Okay, that's good.
But before this, so before all this, um, so I'm a choreographer and I teach a lot of dance classes. And so I was trying to figure out how to make money because unfortunately I'm not making any, right? And so I had to record some stuff and like send it to people to get paid and do all these different things, but all that completely stopped. And so now I'm like, I have nothing else to do but make myself better. So I literally just like you,
Yeah.
development classes and really just I have a small business I've been just really putting a foot forward. I ain't got nothing else to do, so and I don't want to
Yeah.
just sit watching Netflix. That got boring during week 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the most interesting thing was like Tiger King, and then
Girl,
nothing else has really kept my attention.
I forgot what was that? I forgot the lady's name, but she always say, "Hey, you cool cats."
Cool Cats and Kittens, Carol Baskins.
And yeah, she killed her husband.
She did.
She did. She fed it probably to an alligator or a lion.
Yeah.
But anyways, on that, what is one thing you think you've learned about yourself during this time?
I have learned that I actually have a lot more patience than I give myself credit for. Yeah. Being in a household of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, and two kids under 10. Sometimes it gets a little rowdy, a little rambunctious, and sometimes I get a little aggravated and a little crabby, but I've found that I do have a lot more patience than what I give myself credit for. Especially being patient with everyday things that used to take like 5 minutes, run in the store every couple of days and grab something. And now I have to wait in line for 20 minutes. And I'm just like, oh, this is inconvenient. But yeah, I have a lot more patience than what I think I have in my head. Yeah, just with everything now. You have to be patient, Amazon Prime packages aren't coming in 2 days anymore. So yeah.
App says you are seriously the most patient person I know.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. She's one of my coworkers at Wella. At work, I'm probably very patient. Outside of work, I'm like,
I'm not a patient person, but I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Actually, if I can share something, and I think I already shared this
No.
a few weeks ago, live specifically, but I was at the store and this woman was just so rude. It was like 2 weeks ago, and she was in the way. I asked her if she could scoot back. She wouldn't. Her produce kept going, and like she was just so difficult. She was just rude. And I was like, ma'am, you're kind of in my way. Can you move? I'm not in your way, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay. And then I asked her again, and she just would not listen. So the final time I was like, look, you are in my way. I have been nothing but pleasant with you. Please move your stuff. And then the cashier was like, ma'am, like, bro. So we moved her stuff, right? I'm like getting so angry. I'm so mad. I'm like, oh my gosh. I want to hit her in her face how mad I was, right? And so I looked over and I was like, I want to pay for her groceries. And the guy's like, what? And then she had this little attitude, and she just looked at me and said, you want to pay for my groceries? I was like, yeah, may I pay for them? And she's like, yeah, whatever. So I paid for her groceries. She leaves, doesn't say thank you, doesn't say anything to me. And I just was like, is this what being kind and patient is? Like, I'm so angry. But I will say that the cashier gentleman was like, I've never seen anyone like that cool, calm, collected. Like, he's like, that was a lot of patience. You held yourself very well together. But it just made me think that we always have to have patience with people. People teach us how to have patience with ourselves. At least for me, being
Yes.
patient taught me to be patient with myself because I'm not a very patient person. I wish I was, but I'm not.
Yeah, but it's nice when you get outside validation. Like Sarah told me, oh, you are patient. It's nice. I'm like, okay, because to me, in my head, I am not for it. And even with you, like you were in your head, like, I'm not here for this lady. And then the guy giving you that affirmation, that's always nice and always helpful for you to know, okay, I'm on the right path, even though I didn't feel like it. Yeah.
Do you do affirmations?
I do meditation. I got I've done it on my own for the past 2 years, off and on. And back in October, I started going to a meditation space over here in Encino. It's called Bindu Point. And so there are tons of different meditation and yoga classes, sound bath classes. And yeah, in those meditation classes, they'll tell you, focus on what your affirmation is for today, or focus on what you want to explore in your meditation session today. And there's different levels of just one is called being and becoming mindfulness. And it's a very basic intro class. But then you have other classes like Reiki, which focus more on the energy in your body and a healer healing you and coming around. So yeah, I've definitely gotten more into affirmations in the past few months, a little bit more consistently than I had in the past.
Got it.
What about you? Because I think in the past IG Lives, you've talked about meditation and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So we talked about patience, right? I don't have the patience for meditation. However, that's the only thing that's been getting me through this.
Okay.
I love people, and so I love to be in community, and I believe in community. I believe in people, and I love people, so I want to be around people. And so being by myself, I think is something I needed, and I don't think I realized how much I needed this space. But in order for me to recognize how much I needed this, I had to slow down my mind. Um, and so I was actually listening to Tracy Ellis Ross talk about the difference between an I am affirmation versus a may I. She was saying that sometimes when we say I am, it's scary because we think of imposter syndrome, right? Like I can't
Mm-hmm.
say I'm beautiful because I don't feel it today. Or I can't say I'm strong because I feel weak. Or I can't say that I'm emotionally intelligent because I cried and I didn't know why I was crying, right? And so there's like a gap between claiming to be something and feeling like you're not that. So she was saying that until she believes it, she started to say, may I? So may I be beautiful today? And she'll listen to it. And then she has a reflection of like, yeah, that's what I want today. So then she'll claim it. I am. And that's something I've been practicing. The main things I've been practicing, actually, again, which is so funny that we talked about patience, but is that may I be patient with myself today? And I'll take a minute. And sometimes it takes me an hour or so. And then later I'm like, I am patient today. Or may I be kind? I've realized how angry I've been because I'm
Mm-hmm.
in one space seeing one person and it's like I feel anger. And so I was like, but may I be kind to, and then I'm mindful of that throughout the day. Am I kind to my right, the person I tell everything to? Am I kind to myself? Am I kind to whoever I come in contact with? So that's something I've been practicing.
Okay.
It's been amazing.
That's great. Yeah, it's all about just trying to observe yourself in the world around you and then making adjustments where necessary. So that's awesome. I like that. Asking and then, not feeling like straight off the bat imposter syndrome. So that's really
All
interesting.
felt it.
Yeah. Oh,
All felt like, yo, I can't, I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, whatever. We've all felt it. Um, but I do have a question for you. And I've asked this question to a few people, and they haven't been able to fully articulate or even know. But I believe that we were prepared for this in some sort of way. We just may not know. Now as a United States, I think we were ill prepared for this. Individual level, I do believe that we were prepared to be here. We just may not know. And I'll give an example. So last year of March of 2019, I left my job I left my full-time job, great pay, right? I was in the political realm and I was going up and doing great stuff. And I left the job and I decided, I want to pursue my business full time and I want to pursue my artistry full time. And so I started doing it. It was a hard year. Your girl was broke every other day. Like I remember, and I'm a believer, and I remember days where I was like, how am I going to pay for this? And uh, as a believer, the Lord took me to the Israelites when they were walking in the wilderness, and how every day God provided. And that's how it was for me. Every day was something new. I would find a check in the mail, and I'm like, I was supposed to get this 3 months ago. Like, wow, I didn't even realize it. And so, anyways, all that to say is now I haven't been working over a month, but I know how to stretch a dollar because I had to in 2019. You know what I'm saying? I know what
yeah.
my needs are because I had to know that in 2019. And so I feel like I was prepared for this, not for the whole pandemic, but to
Right.
be jobless, to be possible. I'm still waiting on unemployment, still trying to figure stuff out, but like I was prepared. How do you think you're prepared for this?
Yeah, for me, I think I had a similar experience to yours about 2 years ago, where was at a job, it wasn't a good fit, and it was weird how the job I'm in now fell into place because I had actually inquired about it 2 years prior.
Okay.
So it didn't go right because the company itself was going through changes and it wasn't a good fit for me at the time to continue with the process. But yeah, I've been through similar experience of having to figure it out and having to financially figure it out, which was the biggest stressor at the time. So I've been prepared for that previously. For the change in everyday life, I think I was prepared for that with my job now. I've been, the company itself has been through a lot of changes. I was prepped about that before, of knowing like, hey, you have to be flexible with this job, with this company, because things can change at the drop of a dime. So luckily, I was prepared for working from home and stuff like that because of this job and knowing that things can always change. It wasn't as much of a shock to me when they were like, "Oh, you need to work from home every day." It If they come and say, "Hey, unfortunately, we have to lay off," it won't be as big of a shock to me, because of the financial type of situation I've been in before.
Right.
I've learned from that of like, hey, you got to have some backup money, some backup plans in place just in case. And especially working in events, you start to kind of wait for something to go wrong a little bit, but you plan for it not to, but something does. So that helps as well. So yeah, definitely have been prepped, because of all the changes our company has gone through, to really not be in full fight or flight mode when this pandemic happened because of previous changes that have happened and accommodations that have had to be made. So yeah, luckily it's good to have those previous experiences, which suck in the moment sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're so stressful and they suck in the moment,
Yeah.
but you come out of it feeling so much better and knowing how to handle it the next time if it happens.
That's good. If you could give anyone any tips, wisdom, or advice on how to, I got a little bug up here. Any tips, wisdom, or advice on how to kind of get through this, what would you say?
I would say if you need to rest during this time, rest. Get that rest in. In the beginning, I kept seeing posts of, oh, you need to come out of this with a new side hustle. You need
Yeah.
to come out of this with a new hobby. No, no, not everybody has the capacity for that. And that's okay. So if you need to rest, rest. If you more so want to kind of figure out what your next move is during this time, it's the perfect time to do it. And like I said earlier, there's so much free education out there right now. Companies are discounting classes. I think I saw like a Noxon, the camera, the
Yeah.
photography.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have classes for free. So many companies are making their services or part of their services free because they know people have this downtime. So if there's something that's been in the back of your mind, like, oh, I'm kind of interested in that, look into it because there's so much education out there. The real estate IG Live I watched yesterday, it's funny, I had just read an article about the lady who was in it talking about her real estate investing. I had just read an article a week prior, followed her on Instagram. The next day, she posted, like, oh, I'm doing this IG Live on real estate. And real estate is something that I'm kind of intrigued by and want to look into. And that was the perfect opportunity to click on that IG Live. I wanted to watch TV, it was still on in the background, but I got so sucked in by the education and the knowledge that she was providing. It was time well spent. So, yeah.
That's good. That's good. You saying that made me think, yesterday someone asked me to do something and I thought of like, well, who has the resources for me to do this thing? And I thought of a person and I said their name aloud and I follow them on Instagram, but I haven't seen them post anything in months. Like they never pop up. Yesterday, all of a sudden they're on my Instagram. And so I want to encourage everyone who's listening to say it out loud because the big guy, whoever is in control of the computers, are listening to you because they want to sell you things. So
Oh, yeah.
like that, you found, what I'm saying? You found the woman. Just like that, you end up getting a perfect timing. And all because, I'm assuming, probably because they're listening to us.
Yes, that is definitely part of it.
I bet after everyone gets off this live, we're going to see stuff about meditation, about free classes, because they're listening to classes, because they're listening to us.
Yes. Yes.
They're listening to everything we say. Okay, what is we're almost done here, but
No.
what is the first thing you're gonna do once you're out of quarantine?
Oh, I had a plan and it got crushed. There is a restaurant that I love. They have these amazing Nutella crepes and it's in downtown LA. My plan was to take a visit there, but they actually changed the restaurant because it's a restaurant in a hotel and they went through renovations. But definitely to go to a lovely restaurant and probably for brunch on a Saturday, have some mimosas and some amazing breakfast food. That is like number one on my list. Yeah. What about for you?
I'm jumping in somebody's pool.
Yes, because it's heating up out.
Yeah, I bodies of water really calm me. And so I honestly I don't want to travel for the rest of the year. I don't trust it. So I'm not going to travel. Well, I don't. It's not that I don't trust it, but again, I live with someone who has an autoimmune disease, so I want to make sure I just for the rest of the year until they actually figure something out, I want to just be mindful of how my life will affect hers.
Yeah.
So I don't plan on traveling anywhere for the rest of the year, out of state or country, and I normally travel a lot. But anyways, so I'm gonna just be in somebody's.
I miss travel too, but yes, that pool time that'll be nice.
Yeah.
That'll be very nice.
Yeah, it's girl, we're in an interesting time. What a time to be alive.
Right, exactly.
Right.
In 20 years, we'll be asked, "What did you do during the pandemic?"
Girl.
What was
yeah? Have you seen those memes where it's like, I'm gonna tell my kids I was doing this during pandemic or things like that?
Oh yeah.
Did you see the Babyface and Teddy Riley battle?
I didn't see it live, but I saw the recaps. I saw all the recaps. The technical difficulties in the beginning, and then the remixes when they got it right.
Girl.
Like, I didn't know we were doing remixes. Okay.
Charlamagne the God posted something where he was like, please don't get it twisted for all you youngins out there who don't know who Teddy Riley is. Like, regardless if he can't figure it out, like, he's a legend. Don't disrespect the. I was like, I know that's right. I saw so many. That one guy, I was like, I need that person when I'm doing I am Root Lives. I need that one person right there in the back just dancing. Like, that was fun.
Yes. Right.
Dom, I know you on here. You down? You want to come dance for the people real quick? Right there. Look, I got a little space for you. There, want to say to the people before you head out?
Basically, keep your prayers up. Even though COVID might not be affecting anyone in your direct circle, it is out there and it is affecting other people's direct circles. So definitely just thoughts and prayers and condolences to anybody who is currently battling COVID-19 and for anyone who has passed from COVID-19, because it is happening. You don't realize it until it's in your immediate circle, but it's out there. So just thoughts and prayers and condolences for everyone who is being affected by it.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. I feel that. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited that you're a part of the brand. Dom has told me so many good things, and we're excited for more things to come with I Am Root.
I am too. Thank you, girl. Thank
Thanks. Have a good day.
you too.
Bye.
I don't know how to. I think you have to press end. Or is that me?
I'm gonna hit leave.
Okay, there we go. Y'all, I don't know what I'm doing over here. Before we go, I just want to thank you all for listening. For those of you who jump in later for listening, some things I want to just put on your radar. Again, my name is Niamey, and that was Carissa. So thank you. You can follow us here. I put our Instagram, IG handles if you're interested. We both some dope women who are just creating dope content. So follow us. Also, if you are interested in donating to the I Am Root brand, again, we were also affected by COVID-19. And so we want to make sure that we're able to support our artists and provide resources for our artists and for others. You can do so on Cash App, via Cash App, which is I Am Root LLC, or you can visit the iamrootco.com/about. You can go on there. The other thing I want to make sure I shout out, y'all, you can't see me. I'm going to do a live reading. I'm going to hold this. Actually, have any of y'all peeped this beautiful thing? That's an I Am Root. Hold on, can I move y'all my room a little bit? This is my bedroom. And this is an I Am Root. Hang in there. So we do have some different, we have some things. Yeah, we have some merchandise and things. If you're interested, make sure you check out our website, iamrootco.com. But we will be having a reading, online reading. So what it is if you're interested in having your short stories or poetry read by me, you can just submit them and I'll read them. You can submit them to, let me go ahead and tell you right quick. You can submit them to iamrootco.com/submissions. iamrootco.com/submissions. I said slash really weird. You can take them there by April 28th at 12 p.m. On April 29th is when I'll go in and get all of them and make sure that I'm going to read them a little bit to make sure I don't sound crazy reading y'all stuff. But make sure if you are interested in having me read your poetry or short stories, thank you, Dom, for putting it down there. Make sure that you submit it by the deadline. Okay, so April 28th. We're going to do a live reading on April 30th. So 2 days after that, I'll be reading them online. So if you have short stories, if you have poetry, if you have just some thoughts that you want to share, that you want to get out, anything that you want to share that you want other people to see, hear, please submit them and I'll make sure to read them. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope y'all had fun and I hope you have a great day. I don't know what you're going to do today. It's a Friday. I hope you are just great, whatever you decide to do. I'm going to take a nap. And then I've been low-key. I've been drinking a lot of wine because I love wine. I'm low-key becoming a whole wine connoisseur over here. And so when I wake up, I'm going to go ahead and jump on the wine. But anyways, whatever you're doing today, make sure that you do it great. Make sure you do it with love. And then also, for those of you, I don't know why this is on my heart, for those of you who are feeling imposter syndrome during this time, I want you to know that I recognize you, that I see you, and that you can, that you have, and that you will. So even if you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you. And even though I may not know you, I believe in you. Okay? So peace, y'all.